In a shocking development, the U.S. has just announced that the worst disaster in history is about to happen. After months of intense research and dire predictions, the truth is coming to light. This revelation is monumental, considering the scale and potential impact of this impending catastrophe. What exactly is this disaster? How soon can we expect it? And what can we do to prepare? Join us as we explore this urgent story and uncover the critical details behind the looming threat. The U.S. government has issued a warning about what is expected to be the most catastrophic tragedy in American history, according to an astonishing disclosure. The unexpected announcement made by the chairman of the Federal Emergency Management Agency on June 25, 2024, caused trepidation throughout the country. The key points from the announcement are both alarming and sobering. The Federal Emergency Management Agency chief outlined that this impending disaster is anticipated to have severity with the potential to impact millions of lives. The expected timeline suggests that this disaster could strike as early as December 2024. Authorities emphasize the critical need for immediate preparedness measures to mitigate the potential devastation. Experts caution that this impending disaster may occur within the next 6 months, underscoring the critical need for swift action and all-encompassing preparation. In contrast to previous disaster warnings, which were often based on emerging patterns or historical data, this current announcement is grounded in cutting-edge predictive modeling and recent seismic activity data. For example, the warning before Hurricane Katrina relied heavily on tracking the hurricane's path and projecting high landfall. Now, advanced technology has given us a darkly precise forecast. A major earthquake along the San Andreas Fault is not just a possibility, but a high probability. This blend of sophisticated science and real-time data underscores the urgency of the situation, focusing the critical need for immediate preparedness. To put this in perspective, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which had a magnitude of 7.9, resulted in over 3,000 deaths and the destruction of more than 80% of the city. The upcoming disaster is predicted to be even more severe, potentially reaching a magnitude of 8.0 or higher. This would make it one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded in the United States. The nature of this announcement is evident when compared to past warnings, which were often vague with uncertain timelines. This time, the prediction is alarmingly clear and specific, and focuses on the seriousness of the situation. The government's proactive approach in issuing such a detailed and urgent warning underscores the gravity of the threat. This precise forecast, backed by advanced predictive modeling and seismic data, signals an imminent and severe risk, emphasizing the critical need for immediate preparedness and action. What measures are being taken to prepare for this impending disaster? How can individuals and communities safeguard themselves against such a catastrophic event? As we get deeper into this story, we will get to see the actions being recommended by experts and the steps you can take to protect yourself and your loved ones. As we uncover more about this critical situation and how you can stay informed and prepared, the San Andreas Fault is at the center of this looming disaster, and understanding its significance is crucial. Stretching over 800 miles through California, from the Pacific coast to the Sierra Nevada mountains, the San Andreas Fault is one of the most well-known and studied fault lines in the world. It marks the boundary between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, making it a hotspot for seismic activity. But what does this mean for the areas around the fault? The potential impact is staggering. Cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego are all situated near the San Andreas Fault and could face catastrophic damage. The projected earthquake could result in widespread destruction of infrastructure, buildings, and roads, disrupting daily life and causing significant economic losses. In addition, the human toll could be devastating, with thousands of lives at risk. What exactly are the scientists predicting? The fault has a history of producing significant earthquakes approximately every 150 to 200 years. Given the last major quake in this region was in 1857, experts believe we are overdue for another. Advanced modeling techniques have allowed scientists to predict that the next big quake could occur within the next few years, if not sooner. But how accurate are these predictions? While it's impossible to predict the exact time of an earthquake, the data is compelling. Seismologists use a combination of historical records, geological surveys, and real-time monitoring to assess the likelihood of future quakes. The evidence points to a high probability of a major earthquake along the San Andreas Fault in the near future. The potential damage from such an event is hard to overstate. Modern San Francisco is home to complex infrastructure, including skyscrapers, tech hubs, and densely populated neighborhoods. Imagine the chaos if major highways, bridges, and utilities were all disrupted simultaneously. The resulting havoc would paralyze daily life, strain emergency services, and create a massive logistical nightmare, making swift recovery efforts exceedingly challenging. How prepared are we for this impending disaster? This is the critical question. While advancements in building codes and emergency response plans have been made since the last major quake, the sheer scale of the predicted earthquake presents a significant challenge. Experts are urging residents in high-risk areas to take preparedness seriously, emphasizing the importance of having an emergency plan, securing heavy furniture, and knowing how to turn off utilities. As we continue to explore this story, we will look at the broader implications of this potential disaster. What steps are being taken by local and federal governments to mitigate the impact? How can communities best prepare for such a shocking event? Stay with us as we get into these critical questions and provide the information you need to stay safe and informed. The federal government, through agencies like the Federal Emergency Management Agency, is enhancing early warning systems such as Shake Alert, which provide crucial seconds to minutes of warning before an earthquake strikes. Significant investments are being made to upgrade infrastructure, including retrofitting buildings to withstand seismic activity and improving drainage systems to manage flooding. Public education campaigns are being conducted to inform citizens about the risks and necessary precautions, including drills, informational websites, and community meetings. In 2023, the United States faced a number of natural disasters, each with devastating consequences. The country experienced $28 billion disasters, marking a record-breaking year. These events ranged from severe weather and hailstorms to catastrophic wildfires and flooding, causing widespread damage and loss of life. One of the most costly disasters was the Southern Midwestern drought and heat wave, which racked up a staggering $14.5 billion in damages. This prolonged drought affected millions, leading to crop failures, water shortages, and extreme heat that strained power grids and public health systems. Another significant event was the severe weather outbreak in early March, which cost $6 billion. This event included multiple tornadoes that tore through communities, destroying homes and infrastructure. The deadly wildfires in Hawaii, particularly on the island of Maui, were another devastating disaster in 2023. These fires, driven by dry conditions and high winds, resulted in the destruction of almost all structures in Lahaina and claimed the lives of dozens of residents. The recovery costs for this event alone were estimated at $5.52 billion. The immense financial burden of these natural disasters. But why are we seeing such an increase in the frequency and severity of these events? The answer lies in climate change. Scientists have long warned that global warming would lead to more extreme weather patterns, and the data from 2023 supports this prediction. As the planet warms, we are experiencing more intense heat waves, severe droughts, and powerful storms. Dr. Sarah Kapnick, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's chief scientist, stated, "Record warm U.S. temperatures in December, a record-setting number of U.S. billion-dollar disasters in 2023, and potentially the warmest year on record for the planet are just the latest examples of the extremes we now face that will continue to worsen due to climate change." This statement points out the direct link between rising global temperatures and the increasing number of natural disasters. Another expert, Deke Arndt, Director of National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administrations, the National Centers for Environmental Information, explained, "The U.S. was hit with more billion-dollar disasters in 2023 than any other year on record, focusing on the increasing risk from our changing climate. This mainly focuses the urgent need for action to address the root causes of climate change and mitigate its impacts. Climate change contributes to the severity of these disasters in several ways. Warmer temperatures increase the evaporation rate, leading to drier conditions and more severe droughts. These dry conditions create an ideal environment for wildfires to ignite and spread rapidly. Additionally, warmer oceans provide more energy for storms, resulting in more intense hurricanes and severe weather events. What consequences does this have for the future? As global temperatures continue to rise, we can expect the frequency and intensity of natural disasters to increase. This has significant implications for communities, economies, and ecosystems worldwide. The record-breaking events of 2023 serve as a severe reminder of the urgent need to address climate change. How can we prepare for these increasingly severe natural disasters? This is a critical question as we face a future where such events become more common. To put into practice efficient plans for catastrophe preparedness and response, communities, governments, and individuals must collaborate. This includes improving infrastructure, developing early warning systems, and promoting sustainable practices to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We will examine the actions being taken to address climate change as we move forward to this subject and how you can support these initiatives. How can all of us contribute to lessening the effects of climate change? Keep checking back as we unearth the answers and offer practical advice to safeguard our environment and communities. To put this into perspective, let's compare these figures with historical data. In 2020, the U.S. experienced $22 billion disasters, which was a record at the time. However, the cumulative cost of those events was significantly lower than what we saw in 2023. This increase in both frequency and financial impact demonstrates the growing economic strain caused by natural disasters, driven largely by climate change. But how do these staggering numbers impact the daily lives of ordinary people? The economic costs translate into real-world consequences for communities across the nation. Homes and businesses destroyed, lives disrupted, and entire communities left to rebuild from scratch. The wildfires in Hawaii, for instance, decimated Lahaina, leaving countless families homeless and struggling to start over. The social fabric of these communities is torn apart, leading to long-term consequences that go beyond immediate financial losses. Displacement is one of the most immediate and visible social impacts. Thousands of people are forced to evacuate their homes, often with little notice, and find temporary shelter. This displacement can last for weeks, months, or even years, as seen with the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in 2005. The stress and uncertainty of displacement take a significant toll on individuals and families, leading to a range of mental health issues. How do communities cope with such deep loss and disruption? The answer lies in resilience and rebuilding, but the process is far from easy. Rebuilding infrastructure is a massive undertaking, requiring significant financial investment and time. Roads, bridges, schools, and hospitals need to be reconstructed, and this can take years. The economic strain of such efforts is enormous, and often the burden falls on already struggling communities. Mental health is another critical aspect of the social impact. The trauma of experiencing a natural disaster, losing homes, and the uncertainty of the future can lead to long-term psychological effects. Anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder are common among survivors. Mental health services become essential in the aftermath, but access to these services can be limited, especially in hard-hit areas. What can be done to mitigate these economic and social impacts? Preparation and proactive measures are key, strengthening infrastructure to withstand extreme weather, implementing early warning systems, and investing in community resilience programs can make a significant difference. Additionally, providing robust mental health support and ensuring quick, effective disaster response are crucial steps in minimizing the long-term social consequences. It's necessary to take into consideration both the short and long-term effects on our communities and economy as we continue to investigate the consequences of this looming tragedy. How will the United States overcome the obstacles of rehabilitation and rebuilding? What can we learn from previous disasters to enhance our readiness and reaction? Join us as we explore these important issues and offer suggestions for how we can all work together to overcome these difficult obstacles. Understanding the mechanics of natural disasters is key to grasping the gravity of the impending threat. Let's start with earthquakes, particularly focusing on the San Andreas Fault. Earthquakes occur due to the movement of tectonic plates beneath the Earth's surface. The San Andreas Fault, which spans over 800 miles through California, is a boundary between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate. These plates are constantly moving, but their edges often get stuck due to friction. When the stress from this movement builds up and overcomes the friction, it releases energy in the form of an earthquake. But how exactly do these earthquakes happen? The process involves a sudden release of accumulated stress along the fault line. Imagine bending a stick until it snaps. The energy released during the snap is similar to what happens during an earthquake. The ground shakes as seismic waves radiate from the fault, causing the destruction we see on the surface. Now let's shift our focus to climate-driven events and how global warming exacerbates natural disasters. Climate change has a deep impact on weather patterns, making severe weather events more frequent and intense. Warmer global temperatures lead to more evaporation, resulting in more moisture in the atmosphere. This can intensify storms, leading to heavier rainfall and more severe flooding. For example, the severe weather events of 2023, including record-breaking hurricanes and heat waves, can be linked to climate change. The increased heat provides more energy for storms, making them stronger and more destructive. The wildfires in California and Hawaii were fueled by prolonged drought conditions, which are becoming more common as temperatures rise. Dr. Sarah Kapnick, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's chief scientist, emphasized, record warm U.S. temperatures in December, a record-setting number of U.S. billion-dollar disasters in 2023, and potentially the warmest year on record for the planet are just the latest examples of the extremes we now face that will continue to worsen due to climate change. This statement explains the undeniable connection between global warming and the increasing severity of natural disasters. But what does this mean for our future? The evidence suggests that without significant action to mitigate climate change, we will continue to see more frequent and severe natural disasters. The patterns are clear. Rising temperatures lead to more extreme weather, and the impact on communities can be devastating. Gaining an understanding of the systems involved in their interactions is essential as we explore the science behind these events. How can we better plan for calamities in the future using this knowledge? What actions can we take to lessen the effects of events caused by climate change? Keep checking back as we investigate these issues and offer insights into the most recent scientific findings intended to comprehend and mitigate natural disasters. In response to the alarming announcement of an impending disaster, both federal and state governments have ramped up their disaster preparedness plans. Understanding these efforts is crucial to comprehending how the nation is preparing to face what could be the worst disaster in history. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has a comprehensive disaster response plan that includes preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation strategies. The Federal Emergency Management Agency's National Response Framework outlines how the nation responds to all types of disasters and emergencies. This framework is designed to be scalable, flexible, and adaptable, ensuring that resources and support can be mobilized quickly in response to a wide range of potential disasters. Recent updates to these plans have been significant. In light of new predictions regarding the San Andreas Fault and climate-driven disasters, the Federal Emergency Management Agency has enhanced its earthquake response protocols. This includes increased funding for earthquake early warning systems, improved infrastructure resilience, and comprehensive public education campaigns on earthquake preparedness. These efforts aim to minimize the damage and save lives when the inevitable earthquake strikes. On the state level, California has implemented several innovative strategies to bolster disaster preparedness. The California Governor's Office of Emergency Services, CalOES, has been at the forefront, updating the state hazard mitigation plan to address the increased risks posed by both earthquakes and climate change. This plan includes measures such as retrofitting older buildings, enforcing strict building codes, and developing rapid response teams trained to deal with earthquake aftermath. But how are communities preparing? At the grassroots level, numerous community initiatives have sprung up to enhance local resilience. These initiatives are crucial because they enable locals to proactively prepare for and respond to disasters. One notable example is the Community Emergency Response Team (CERT) program. CERT trains volunteers in basic disaster response skills, such as fire safety, light search and rescue, and disaster medical operations. These volunteers become a crucial part of their community's emergency response network, capable of providing immediate assistance before professional responders arrive. CERT programs have proven effective in past disasters, helping communities recover more quickly and efficiently. Another success story is the Earthquake Country Alliance in California. This public-private partnership focuses on increasing earthquake preparedness across the state. ECA organizes annual events like the Great California Shakeout, where millions of people participate in earthquake drills, practicing how to drop, cover, and hold on. These drills raise awareness and ensure that residents know what to do when an earthquake hits. The city of San Francisco has also been a leader in community-level preparedness. After the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, the city launched the Neighborhood Empowerment Network, which focuses on building local resilience through neighborhood-specific strategies. Neighborhood Empowerment Network works with local leaders to develop customized preparedness plans that address the unique needs and vulnerabilities of each neighborhood. This approach has been highly successful, creating stronger, more connected communities that are better equipped to handle disasters. What lessons can be drawn from these initiatives? The success of community-based programs shows the importance of local involvement and tailored strategies in disaster preparedness. While federal and state plans provide the necessary framework and resources, it is the community-level efforts that often make the most immediate impact. How can you get involved in your community's preparedness efforts? Engaging with local programs like Community Emergency Response Team, participating in drills, and staying informed about your area's specific risks are all crucial steps. As we move forward, it is essential for individuals and communities to work together, enhancing our collective resilience against the impending disaster. Scientific and technological developments become essential to catastrophe management and response. Among these, early warning systems stand out as important tools in mitigating the impacts of earthquakes and severe weather. Shake Alert, developed by the U.S. Geological Survey, uses a network of ground motion sensors to detect the initial waves of an earthquake. When these sensors detect significant seismic activity, they send alerts to public safety officials and the public. This warning allows people to take protective actions, such as dropping to the ground, taking cover, and holding on. The success rate of Shake Alert and similar systems has been promising. For instance, during the Ridgecrest earthquakes in California in 2019, Shake Alert provided up to 10 seconds of warning. While this might not seem like much, those few seconds can make a significant difference in saving lives and reducing injuries. However, the system does have limitations. It is most effective for earthquakes with epicenters far enough away from densely populated areas, giving sensors time to detect the quake and issue alerts before the strongest shaking reaches the population. In addition to earthquake warnings, there are advanced systems for severe weather alerts. The National Weather Service utilizes Doppler radar, satellite data, and computer models to predict and track severe weather events such as hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods. These technologies have significantly improved the accuracy and lead time of weather warnings, allowing for timely evacuations and preparations. But what about the future of disaster management technology? Innovations are continuously being developed to enhance our ability to predict, prepare for, and respond to natural disasters. One exciting advancement is the use of artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning. AI can analyze enormous amounts of data from various sources to predict disaster patterns more accurately and provide real-time insights during emergencies. For example, AI is being used to improve flood forecasting. Traditional models rely on historical data and current weather conditions, but AI can incorporate additional variables, such as land use changes and real-time rainfall data, to predict flooding with greater precision. This enhanced accuracy can lead to more effective evacuation plans and resource allocation. Drones are another technological innovation making a significant impact in disaster management. Equipped with high-resolution cameras and sensors, drones can quickly survey disaster-stricken areas, providing real-time images and data to emergency responders. This capability is particularly useful in situations where access is difficult or dangerous, such as after a major earthquake or during a severe flood. Looking ahead, future technologies hold even more promise. One area of development is the use of satellites for disaster monitoring and response. Satellites equipped with advanced sensors can monitor the Earth's surface in real time, detecting changes that might indicate an impending disaster. These satellites can also provide critical communication links in the aftermath of a disaster when traditional communication infrastructure is often damaged or destroyed. Another promising technology is the development of resilient infrastructure. Engineers are designing buildings and bridges with materials and structures that can better withstand earthquakes, hurricanes, and other natural disasters. Innovations such as flexible building materials, shock absorbers, and floating foundations aim to minimize damage and ensure quicker recovery. What role will these technologies play in the upcoming disaster predicted along the San Andreas Fault? As we face the possibility of the worst disaster in U.S. history, the integration of these advancements into our preparedness and response strategies will be crucial. How can communities leverage these technologies to enhance their resilience? Learning from those who have survived past disasters can provide valuable insights and inspiration. Take the story of Maria, who lived through Hurricane Katrina. She emphasized the importance of having a well-stocked emergency kit and a solid evacuation plan. "We were prepared to leave at a moment's notice," she recalled. "Having everything ready saved us valuable time and stress." Another powerful example is James, who survived the 2010 Haiti earthquake. His home was destroyed, but his family's preparedness made a significant difference. "We had practiced what to do during an earthquake, so when it happened, we knew where to go and how to protect ourselves," he said. Having a plan and staying calm were crucial. From these experiences, several key lessons emerge. First, preparedness is not just about having supplies. It's also about having a plan and practicing it. Familiarity with emergency procedures can reduce panic and improve response times. Second, communication is very important, and you need to talk to people around you. Keeping family members informed and connected can ensure everyone's safety and well-being. By preparing individually and as a family, we can better protect ourselves and support our communities in times of crisis.